All right, good morning, everybody. This is Nate Bear. It is the 5th of November, Election Day, Tuesday, November the 5th. It's about 8:30 in the morning here, and just want to kind of give you an update on the indexes and show you a setup that I am looking at this week. Now, what I want to do before we do any of that is just advise that the election can bring quite a bit of volatility, right? I think that we all know this, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's downside volatility. But be aware of what's happening in the world, right? This is a potentially big market moving event. It could be much ado about nothing, right? And things just sort of settle down. I mean, frankly, the markets have been so choppy lately that it seems like we're sort of on pause, right? I mean, we've gone in the Qs here, we've really gone, we've gone nowhere since this day right here, which was what, September 19th. And it's been, that's a pretty small range there on the Qs from like 480 to 500, a 20-point range essentially that we've been in. And the majority of that time has been even in a smaller range, between, 495 and 485. So we're talking a pretty tight range that the markets have been in here for almost 2 months heading into the election. So we've got some volatility built up, and what that is showing us right here is this daily squeeze on the Qs. Now, I am leaning bullish, but I just want to advise caution. Okay, I just want to advise caution during and through the election. We're almost through this election cycle, and then we'll be back in focusing on, I think, earnings, the biggest companies in the world, how they're doing, AI, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So one of the names that I love here, and my favorite chart setup currently, is in Netflix. Now, couple things to point out about Netflix. Number one is that it just had a big earnings beat. So this qualifies as a earnings profit surge type play, for those of you who know what I mean. Essentially what we're looking for here, gang, is a big earnings beat, consolidation, and a continuation higher from there. Netflix fits the bill to the T. We have a beautiful pattern, right? There's no daily squeeze, but if we start to zoom in, check this out. The 195 minutes chart has a squeeze, the 130 has a squeeze, the 78 has a squeeze, the 60-minute has a squeeze, the 30-minute has a squeeze, the 15-minute has a squeeze, right? I mean, we've got squeezes all over the place. So the one that I'm going to focus on here is the biggest of those, and that's the 195-minute chart. And then the trade plan is actually pretty straightforward. We're looking for Netflix to run into, I can get rid of that, that's old, into new all-time highs here over 773, right? So we're in this consolidation pattern. We're looking for this to break higher, break over 773 and into extension targets at 780.82, and then again at 790.76. So as far as the options that I would play, now I do have a little bit of Netflix here myself, but I'm going to suggest something a little bit further out in time. I would go all the way out to December here, December 20th. Give yourself plenty of time. Now, these are not going to be cheap options, but I think in this case, going out of the money is okay in Netflix because it's such a big stock. So I would do the $800 calls. If you wanted something a little bit more conservative or a little bit less expensive, you could do something like that. But this is the one I'm going to suggest, the 1220 $800 calls. If you wanted to do something more aggressive, you could do like, next week's 770 calls, next week's 760 calls, next week's somewhere out of the money. It just depends on how aggressive you want to get. But essentially in Netflix, we would love price to stay above this 21 EMA, right? We want to see the momentum on this 195-minute chart shift, and we want to see a close over this 618 retracement level. That's a Fibonacci level, this blue line right here, and that level is about 762. So we want to see a candle close above that. You can see we have not been able to do that throughout this consolidation flag. So we're kind of stuck in between the 618 and point of control, which is this red line here. All right, so trade plan is going to be right around where we currently are, right around 755. We can stop under 745, and then targets are going to be 780, well, really 773, and then 781, and then 791. Those are our Fibonacci extensions and our previous all-time high. All right, so that's what I've got. I hope it helps, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.